All right, happy Father's Day. Um, Pretty late, it's about 8:30. Been up since before 4. Lots been going on, a lot of processing. Yeah, so the Lord got me up really early, or well, I guess normal early, but felt really early because it was kind of cold, cloudy outside. Um, but went out pre-dawn, did a lot of walking and talking with the Lord. Very different. Today was very different for me. Not sure why, but just woke up and just differently and just kind of I don't know. Yeah, so the walking and talking with the Lord was more not asking questions, but more declaring things, proclaiming. Seemed like the walking and talking with the Lord was more spiritual warfare, if you will. So just yeah. So I mean, so it's been 4.5 hours since I did that, but it was just today is just very different from the last number of days. Uh, a lot of things are different. I don't know, just even just the normal routines, if you will. So an example is and again, so I always just connect to the Lord and then just do what He tells me to do. So this morning was different. So He's like, okay, I want you to take a shower first, which is that's usually not the case, but it was like, okay, and then I want you to get ready. I'm like, that's weird. It was just kind of a flip flop of kind of I would just say my normal routine, if you will, of kind of getting ready or preparing for the day. It was, yeah. So it was like, okay, we're gonna start at the end, and then we're go back to the beginning. So it's like, okay, I don't understand it, but I'm just gonna do it, right? Just because oftentimes for me, it's like the Lord just asking me to step in and do something out of obedience, but it's like what happens in the natural is a reflection of what's happening in the spiritual. So, and then with that, as I obey and I step into and I'm following, his marching orders, if you will, then he downloads stuff to me. Just yeah. So there's just a flood of stuff this morning, just a flood of stuff. Yeah, so I'm still trying to process everything because it was just such a download. It's like a deluge. It was like a Niagara Falls kind of a download, in a good way, So there's excitement, there's insight, there's revelation. I feel like there's a calling. There's clarity and kind of destiny, um, which is good. But the challenge is it involves other people. And whenever things involve other people, it's like, okay, well, the other people have to be in alignment, in spiritual alignment. They have to be connected to the Lord, and they have to be open to what the Lord wants as well. And if they're not, then things don't unfold the way they're supposed to be, if you will, or that I feel like the Lord is showing me. Yeah, so again, it's very upside down right now. So one aspect of the download was just um, kind of that that the ecclesia needs to rise up and take their place, right? And then um, what does that mean? What does that look like for each of us? Um, I think it'll be a little bit different, but I think it's there's a greater sense there I believe is going to be a greater sense of unity as that happens. So really, in essence, what that is just we end up taking and standing in our spiritual authority. And this is authority that God has already given to us. So it's not like we're trying to do anything that we're not capable of. So I think, yeah, so I think this call is for those who are ready, willing, and able to stand up in their authority, and hopefully that's the majority. But if not, there needs to be an assessment of what's preventing people from standing up, rising up, if you will, standing in authority. Do they know their authority? Do they know their gifting? Do they know their call? Do they know their destiny? On and on and on. Are they wounded? Are they under spiritual oppression? Um, yeah, is the enemy taking people out? Don't know, or maybe all of the above. But so again, kind of this whole upside down kind of theme for me this morning is that the enemy has thrown everything upside down and will continue to do that. And so the sooner that we realize that, the better. So I think what's happened is, right, so the enemy has won a very strategic battle in that he has everyone in isolation, or a great majority of people in isolation. Um, he has a great many people in fear, right, and in doubt, and maybe in depression, and maybe in denial. But just really just not healthy, not healthy. Maybe emotionally, probably emotionally, uh, maybe even not well spiritually. Don't know. And there's no way that the body can know how each other is if we're not seeing each other in person, right, or interacting or fellowshipping, right? So we can't ask, hey, how you doing? What's going on? So it's very different. So one thing for me is just once I see things, um, then it becomes okay. Well, now what? Am I just seeing this for my benefit? Um, and maybe that's all it is. But I think that there needs to be a higher strategy, if you will, within the kingdom, or within the ecclesia, that um, yeah. So for me, the best defense is an offense, and right now we're just hunkering down. We're not. We're kind of just looking for safety. And but I think that we need to rise up and start taking ground. I think we need to start taking it to the enemy. So what and how that all looks like, I'm not sure. Who that involves, I'm not sure. My hope is that you know my ecclesia would be willing to do that, um, but we'll see. Yeah, and then and then another kind of thing is how much has the enemy blinded us? And by us, it's the body of Christ. How much have we bought into the deception? How much are we believing? You know, do we really know what's right and what's wrong? Do we really know what's true and what's false? Do we know that we're being deceived? And then once you know you're being deceived, what are you doing about it? Right? So what? Yeah. So a lot of questions, a lot of not knowing, but it just seems like we could be doing things differently in this season. So a big thing from so yeah, so big thing for me this morning. I can't just deluge, but one of the big things was just there's a realization within my spirit that we are in a season of birthing. Um, and so, what that means to me and what that looks like to me is, so just like it as in human form, right? So as a baby is, so there's conception, and then there's a nine month process before the baby's, before the mother gives birth, or before the baby comes out of the womb. And then so for me, birthing is that process. So birthing is not just the delivery process. I mean, that's a part of it, but that's the end process. That's the birth. So right. so my sense is we are in the beginning stages. So I think, yeah, so I don't know how many months along we are, but I would say we're very early on in the process. So I would just say, and even to be safe, it's like, okay, we're in the first month. So we've got 9 months before uh, there's going to be a spiritual birth unto something. Uh, and knowing that, it's just, or again, this is just an awareness that I got this morning. It's like, hey, we're in the birthing, or we're birthing something, but we're early on in the process, and we've got a ways to go. So what do we do to prepare for the birth? Recognizing we've got, say, 9 months. So really, it's to prepare, right? It's to grow, nurture, create an environment, safe environment for the baby. It's also kind of to wrap up, parenting skills, if you will. Okay, fathers have to learn how to be fathers, mothers have to learn how to be mothers. Uh, how do you know what you don't know? Who do you learn from? Um, just very interesting. So, and again, this is just my sense. Yeah. So I felt like the Lord had called me to a season of preparation. I don't know, a week or maybe weeks ago, and I didn't really understand. It was just the word prepare. It's like, okay, what does that mean? Does that mean go buy a gun? Does that mean, build a fortress? Does that mean, what does that mean? I don't know. Um, but now it's like, oh, I think I better understand. Prepare for the birth. Prepare for what this is unto. Um, yeah. So anyway, so it's giving me a little bit more clarity, a little bit. Yeah. So today being Father's Day, I just think that today, especially of all days, is that the fathers need to rise up and recognize and understand the authority that God has given to us as fathers. We are here to protect, we are here to cover, we are here to, we're here for other. We're here to be kind of the front line, if you will. We're the ones that, like, if we're under attack, we should be the one rushing forward to take out, you know, enemy infiltration or enemy advancement. But we also need to know authority, so what is our authority, to speak into that authority, to stand up in our authority, and to stand up in the family and take spiritual authority over the family. So I hope that can take place today. I hope that, that's being done around the world.